Welcome back to ProptheProps, guys, where we give out our favorite Prizepicks underdogs, plays for MLB, NBA Summer League, NFL, you name it, we give out our favorite props. Make sure you use code PR-ZF7F3IK. Again, open up that app if you have not already signed up and use code PR-ZF7F3IK to go ahead and get a deposit match up to $100 when you sign up with Prizepicks. That means when you put in your first $100, you'll get an extra 100 in bonus bets to go ahead and start off your bets with Prizepicks. And you can go ahead and use some of those picks on these videos. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, comment down below. It really does help out get this video out to more people. It helps out with the algorithm. It's free, it costs nothing. You could unsubscribe at any time. Anyway, we're doing NFL full season props. We're starting it off with Brandon Ayuk. He's got 4.5 receiving touchdown prop here on Underdog. You can also take this at 5.5 on Prizepicks. This is the only one that's already bumped on Prizepicks. So I would go ahead and make sure you get these in very quickly so that you do not have to deal with any further bumps. But I still do think that Brandon Ayuk can hit this prop at 5.5. 6.5 if it were to go up there. I might be considering the under, but I've heard that he's had a very, very good camp. I am a Niners fan. I've heard he's been one of our better, if not our best receiver, and he is going into a contract year. He is also on the last year of his rookie deal, so he's going to be looking to get paid in the offseason. As you see, he has a 5 touchdown, and 8 touchdown campaign, with the 8 touchdown campaign coming in his most recent season. And one thing about Kyle Shanahan, he does have a tendency to feature his playmakers who are up for contract extensions to see if they are worth extending. Think of George Kittle. Think of guys like Raheem Mostert when he originally came over. So, I mean, he really does have a tendency to go ahead and say, hey, look, you're up for an extension. Are you worth doing? Are you worth giving that money to? And honestly, I think that Ayuk's going to have a really, really great season. He's going to have a breakout campaign. I think he had his first 1,000-yard season last season. Like I said, 9 touchdowns receiving. I think that 5.5 or 4.5 is going to be a very, very, very easy target for him to go ahead and get. I wouldn't be surprised to see him finish with 1,000 yards and potentially even up to 10 touchdowns at most. I think would be a ceiling for this year. But hey, you never know. Like I said, he has been lighting it up in OTAs, mini camps, and from all accounts, from what I'm hearing, he's been looking very, very good. So here's play number 1, Brandon Ayuk over 4.5 or 5.5 receiving touchdowns. Play number 2 is going to be another receiving touchdown prop. It's going to be Joe Mixon over 1.5 receiving touchdowns. Now, with Joe Mixon, it's going to be a little bit harder. I think that this is going to be one of the ones that's a little bit harder for us to go ahead and hit. Like I said, Joe Mixon, 1.5 receiving touchdowns. He's only done this in one of his campaigns. However, he is coming into a prime age for a running back. And not only that, but it is only 2 receiving touchdowns. That's not the most to ask for. He is a featured guy in the Bengals offense, and so I'd definitely be looking for him to get 2 touchdowns receiving. You can see here he has a 0-1, or actually no, never mind. It might be Chubb, one of our next guys. That's a little sneak peek or preview, if you will, for what's coming up next. But we got Joe Mixon. He's done this in 3 out of his 6 campaigns. He did it last year, the year before that, so 2 years in a row he's hit this number, and he also hit it in his 3rd year with the Bengals. And as you see, his targets, 79 targets last year. If he can get targets like that, this is going to be easy for him to go ahead and hit 42. I mean, it's pretty solid stat lines. Not a lot to ask. Christian McCaffrey, though, this is one I can go on for hours about. It's going to be, okay, not hours, but you get the point. It's 4.5 receiving touchdowns for McCaffrey. I believe he only played 8 games or so with the Niners. Came in pretty much limited also in his first game against the Chiefs. And he already had 4 receiving touchdowns in basically half a season with San Francisco last year. The Niners love to run the ball. They love to get their running backs involved in the offense. McCaffrey can run. He can catch. He can do it all. Heck, that 6.5 rushing touchdown number looks really good too. But right now we're focusing on that receiving touchdown prop. As you see, he had 4 touchdowns with San Francisco last year alone on 8 games. He with 5 games in Carolina had 1, so he would have hit this last year. He did have 2 back-to-back 1 touchdown years. He did have a 4 and then a 6 and 5 in his rookie and sophomore seasons respectively. I know that he is a guy that can get injured, but part of me wonders if that was him trying to keep himself healthy, not have to play all the games. He was on a Carolina team that wasn't always the best. And if you think about it, when the Carolina Panthers were doing well, he typically was playing a lot of the games. Carolina stopped doing as well. McCaffrey started getting a little bit more injury prone. So I wonder how much of that was just trying to limit things or just trying to keep himself able to go longer. So I do think that he is able to stay healthy. Next, I'm looking at Nick Chubb, 0.5 receiving touchdowns. This one was the one that I alluded to earlier, was coming up in the video. And this one could be one of the ones that's, a little bit harder to sell you guys on. But let me tell you why I like this. For one, it's only 1 receiving touchdown. Only 1 receiving touchdown. That can happen in any game. Any game this season. And Nick Chubb is one of the premier starting running backs of the NFL. And he was one of, if not arguably even the best running back of last season. So you factor that in. You factor in also the fact that most of his targets came with Deshaun Watson in the lineup. You're going to see that here. We're going to go take a look at the game-by-game stats for Nick Chubb. You see, he did have a touchdown in his last game of the season. He also had 6 targets in that one. And you got to remember, Massage Watson, Deshaun Watson, whatever you want to call him, he had to work his way back. He had some rust. And you see, around the time that Watson came back, 1-1, 3-2, 1-1 targets. Doesn't look that promising, but then he had that 6 target game. And I mean, he wasn't really getting targeted that much prior in the year. He did have a 3-4, 3-2-3, and 3 target game early in the first half of the season. But I mean, you take a look at his receiving numbers. He's gone over this 3 out of the 5 seasons, and so it's definitely very possible that he does this. Thankfully, this isn't one of the 1.5 receiving touchdown props. Then we'd have to be looking at the under, as he only did that once in his career. But I definitely think with the uptick in targets from Massage Watson, he can get this done. And then we have Josh Jacobs, lastly, as the last player we're going to be talking about in this video. Josh Jacobs, 0.5 receiving touchdowns. Another one where it can happen on any game. We just need 1 receiving touchdown. Take a look at his props. This one could also be a sweat. He has 4 years in the league. He has no touchdowns, but he is only 25 years old. He is getting to that prime area of his career as well. And as you see, he had 64 targets each of the last 2 years. Now, I don't know about you, but someone putting up 350, 400 receiving yards, that's someone who surprises me. He doesn't have any receiving touchdowns. This isn't normal to get 40 targets, 60 targets, and not get a receiving touchdown, especially when you're catching 50 of the passes. Not to mention, now this is a little bit iffy, but not to mention if Jimmy G is coming over and he is going to be the starting quarterback, there is a little bit of, will he be the starting quarterback since he did fail his physical, but if he does start, Jimmy G is a guy who, as we know, doesn't have a lot of power. When he's throwing, he takes a lot of dump offs. He finds the tight ends. So this could be a spot where maybe we see an uptick in targets for Josh Jacobs. Maybe that 64 becomes 85 targets. And if that happens, I definitely like Josh Jacobs to get his first receiving touchdown of his career. I mean, each year we see he's getting more and more targets, more and more catches, more and more yards. So, I mean, this looks like a spot where I don't see any reason why he can't get it. Anyway, that is going to do it for our prize picks. Underdog, NFL season-long props. Hope you do enjoy. Hope these bets do go well for you if you do end up placing them. But please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really helps get this video out there, and it would really mean a lot. Thank you so much. Peace out. Bye.